Mrs. Debjani is the Controller of Certifying Authorities in the Department of Electronics and Information Technology. I request her to deliver the inaugural address.
Good morning, everyone. Dr. Shai Chandra Babu, my colleague Harshprabha Agarwal, Dr. Balaji, Mr. Bindu Madhav, Professor Shiv Kumar, good to have you here. Ladies and gentlemen, friends from different banking institutions, certifying authorities, welcome to this national conference today. We have kept the theme today as the use of PKI and electronic signatures in banking and financial services. Over the years that we have been in existence, since the first certifying authority was licensed in 2002, till now we have issued in total about 13 million certificates, signature certificates, and with the validity having increased to 3 years maximum about 2-3 years back. So it's not really 13 million which are active right now. So we probably have a user base of 6 to 7 lakhs of the user base with certificates. And predominantly these certificates are being used in the MCA application for e-filing of the company returns, and some of them also overlap with the income tax where there is mandatory e-filing for certain companies which get their business audited. So from that point of view, it's really a very minuscule percentage which has been covered. We felt that banks and their customers, if we can bring them into the fold, usage would grow. But of course, this brings with it many challenges. One is, of course, convincing the service providers and the applications people to use this technology while maintaining the security, the assurance, and the credibility behind these certificates. So these are some of the challenges that we've been trying to address. We have, in the year 2004, we had joint meetings with the Reserve Bank of India and the Indian Banks Association, where we had the CTOs of the banks, all the banks participating. And certain mandate was, of course, laid down by the RBI that at least all the banks should have their core banking applications PKI enabled, so that any customer who wants to use this service to digitally sign his internet banking transactions is able to do that. That was not provided earlier. So today I think we would like to hear from the banks who are here where that has progressed. Of course, the banks do have their own challenges that they have to address. They are rightly very concerned about the security. They had operational problems, like we have legal requirements for the application forms. If we have asked them to become the KYC providers for certificate issuance, they had this issue of the application forms which have to be kept with the certifying authorities. So these challenges were there. We wanted hardware devices to be issued to all the account holders for high assurance certificates. Distribution logistics of those devices, that was also an issue. So there were many issues that they had, and we have been working on them. We did come out with certain sort of parameters that could be used, but I don't think we've made much headway. The other thing that has happened meanwhile has been the announcement of the e-sign, the launch of the e-sign service, which we will hear about in more detail later in the day. But that has done away with some of the problems, like filling in a paper application form. That has gone. You're having to maintain hardware devices. That has gone. But it has brought with it other challenges. So what we would like to do today is hear from everybody the kind of concerns that they have in implementing e-sign, so that we can look into and take it forward. That is one part of the thing. Other initiatives that we have taken, for example, the timestamping services. This would probably, it has not taken off, but we had issued the policy and all the certifying authorities were asked to gear up. So the timestamping were an important component of any transaction. So we'd like to know whether the banks, how they feel about it, and whether they think that, how we can use it, any suggestions on the timestamping, we can take it up. We've also been trying to increase user friendliness, or at least, many times our certificates which are not carried in popular products bring out a very sort of scary message saying your certificate is not trusted. So we're trying to sort that. We have done that with Microsoft, but we are looking at other products also to do that. So these are some of the initiatives we've taken. We have recently issued a notification by which we are getting same level of security in smaller key lengths, so that mobile signatures, we had some proposals, but there was a stumbling block because the ECC, which is the shorter key length signatures, were not theoretically and in the standards. They were not there really for the end user. Though it was there for certifying authorities, it was not there for the end user. So we've also added that so that some solutions which we were examining would make signing on the mobile phones a reality with this notification. So these are some of the initiatives we've taken. We've also recently updated in great detail actually the identity verification guidelines, which is really the cornerstone of the credibility and the assurance behind a certificate. So that is still evolving. We have, it is available on our website. So we are trying to give that assurance, but implementation, of course, is a challenge. So that is there. We have published that, and it goes through continued review and evaluation. So these are some of the initiatives we've taken. What we are looking forward to today is to hear from all of you, those who have implemented, those who have not implemented because they are either worried about some aspect or the other of this framework. So we are here to hear from you, and we'd like your feedback. Maybe at the end of the day, the question and answer session, not necessarily only question and answers, we'd like to have your suggestions too. So with that, I'd like to stop here and carry on. And also I'd like to thank CDAC, because they have been doing this tremendous job over the last, I think, 6 years. This is the second phase of the project that we have awarded to them, which my colleague will cover in a bit more detail. But this has been extremely useful, and like Dr. Sharat Chandra Babu said, we've gone through more than 5,000 people have gone through these programs. But ultimately the usage has to show up, and we're hoping that if we can get banks into the fold to offer these services to their customers, it'll grow. Thank you very much. Look forward to being here today with you all. Thank you very much.